All right, my friends, it's me, your friend Kevin, and this is your Divine Daily Blast. So we are in a angel numerology number 9 day. I call that the day of declaration, like coming out of the closet. Not that we're in one. Lift off. What are you waiting for? The 9 energy brings with it a time to be creative, artistic, kind, caring, giving and self sacrificing without compromise. There's a little hint there. Sometimes we can sacrifice ourselves so much so that we're compromising our own sources, our own resources. There you go. Be a humanitarian today. Use the tarot cards of the Empress and or the Hermit. Call upon Archangel Michael, Archangel Gabriel, and think about running around in the sign of Virgo. That's an organizational sign. It's a sign of getting things one by one, by two, by four. It's a very analytical sign of the zodiac. All right, moving into our isms. I am focused on joy and well being for myself and others. That is how you implement the number 9 energy. What are you focused on? Where are you finding joy and well being for yourself? I am worthy of all the goodness and abundance in the universe. Are you still fretting about what you do not have? And can you flip that switch into saying, not only am I grateful for what I have, I'm worthy of it all. I demand it all. I'm asking for harmony, happiness, and God's opulence in everything I do, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to see it. And then this one, I am aligned with my missions and anchored in my purpose. Don't wait till you have the specifics. Don't wait till you have the receipts for exactly what that looks like and what that is. We have spent eons worrying about and wondering about how and who and when and why. It is time to be aligned with the mission and anchored in the purpose that you are already in. Every single act, deed, purpose, place, situation, story comes from your heart and your desire and what you want. What story are you telling? I've had to learn that the bumpy way. I've had to learn that the way, and I've had to understand and learn that I am not all, the be all and end all of what is created. I am just me learning to do this. And the lessons I've learned in the last 12 months have helped me to help other people understand those same lessons. Moving on. I pulled a card from Angel Affirmations, as I usually do, from Radley Valentine. And here we've got Archangel, your guardian angels. We love a good time and a good joke. As much as you do, allow space in your life for lightness and joy in all moments, great and small. I am a magnet for good hair days and spontaneous dance parties. I embrace fun in my life. This comes probably at a time if you are still bothered by the conscious focus of what's happening in the world, if you're still bothered and don't really want to go down that rabbit hole, because I don't know that it makes any sense. I would rather watch Alice in Wonderland and see what the Mad Hatter's up to. But then I just have to turn on the news and there you go. I mean, it is quite interesting. Let me move on with this reading and I can get to some ratchetness in a minute. I can be ratchet, people. All right. Our divine master this week is Joan of Arc. Now, Joan of Arc has shown up quite a few times and more recently. So I went to my little prayer and said, Okay, Miss Joan of Arc, what is it that you want us to know? You've popped up a couple of times in the last few weeks, and her big, bold message is do not be afraid. Do not be afraid to be yourself. Do not be afraid to come out of whatever you think you should be and be that. Be whatever you want to be. Be whoever you want to be. Declare your difference, no matter what that is. It is time for us to stop feeling and being oppressed for our difference. Embrace the difference you see in others. In other words, you are going to come across things you don't quite understand. You're going to come across people, places, situations, stories, things that look a little twisted or a little bit off or a little bit, oh. And if you're okay with that, if you're fine with it, if you're doing okay with it, then it's your time to celebrate and embrace it, because a lot of those folks, myself included, had to come out in society, or we had to blend into society when society was pushing us back out, saying that we had to be a certain way and we were not. So Joan of Arc comes with the message that the greatest support you can have is the support of the universe. And so call in the light of God and the angels and stand strong in your beliefs, because the challenge you are facing is an opportunity to understand the purpose of your life. It is time to believe and to trust and to go. Go, go. Now, our angel activation is a different card to most of us, but it comes along the same lines as all of this. And it is Elohim, which is really, in some context, it's like karmic debts are being paid, forgiveness. You don't need to be forgiven because, God, the angels, the guardian angels, they don't persecute us. We're the ones that persecute ourselves. Your activation in this one is, I take responsibility for my own karma. Release yourself from the pain of guilt. Your debts are paid. Who you were in a past life is not who you are today. If you had known then what you know now, you would have made different choices. But you cannot change what has already happened. You can only change how you move forward. Release yourself from the past. And that means cut off the ties that bind you to anything that you thought you were told to believe in that now you don't. We're allowed to change our mind. We're allowed to be different. We're allowed to stand up for ourselves. Right, Gertrude, Beatrice, give us a card that pulls all this together. They are in the middle of a forest and they've got rabbits. Oh, I see a rabbit. I see yellow rabbits. Yellow rabbits. Oh, hello. I'm sorry. Well, I'm going to call this Queen of Water, because she popped out here. I'm seeing yellow rabbits. Okay, yellow rabbits, red rabbits, all kinds of different colored creatures. They're saying we are part of this big rainbow matrix of the world. And when the rainbow matrix decides to lift the fear away, to lift the energy up, to lift it up to love and playfulness and dancing, that's what we're supposed to celebrate our differences. This is what this is saying. Now, the Queen of Water is the Queen of Cups. Here we have a compassionate, loving, giving. Oh, okay. The Queen of Water in this situation is shown as a swan. Now, in England, all the swans belong to the monarchy. They belong to the Queen and now the King. And the message in this card is compassionate, loving, giving, psychic. That means you've got insight. That means you've got the ability to see past all the madness and the mayhem. This is a time of deep emotions and heightened intuition. You can trust in all of this completely. Be mindful. You don't ignore your own needs while caring for others. So it goes along with all this worthiness, this compassion, this love, this giving up these ideas that you've done something wrong, or that you are wrong, or that something about you is wrong. That is just plain dookie. You know, this week I was listening to a few conversations. You know, I do hair. And a couple of people commented about, I find it funny because I like to see the light side of life. They were commenting about how eggs were in short supply and how much they cost. And of course, my ratchet mind went straight to, well, can you imagine the effort it takes to squirt out those eggs every day from those chickens? I mean, they deserve to have a bit of a raise. I never really thought about or spoke to the reason why until I asked someone else who also made the same comment. I said, well, what's going on? There's a shortage. When there's a shortage, the price of things go up. All right, supply and demand. Well, all right, no problems. It's okay. And then, you know, someone else would comment about how many eggs their family consumes and the cost of it. And I'm just talking in general conversation terms. I'm not pointing fingers and saying what publishing, you know, but we're having conversations. And then when I got told why, because there is an avian flu, and one of my good dear friends who works for a processing plant, I won't say which one, talked about how when this avian illness comes into an aviary, whether that's a hatchery or whatever, the entire flock has to be euthanized. I got goosebumps. And I all of a sudden got clear about, wow, these birds were specifically bred to lay eggs so that human beings can be fed. All right, there's the food cycle. And now they're going to be killed because they got an illness, which, you know, you can't pass that on to humans. So it just let me look at, there's still work to do when it comes to how we view and how we see things. There is no compassion for the birds, no compassion for the people that perhaps earn money from the sale of these birds' eggs. And I'm looking at it in a trivial way. Certainly no gratitude for the chicken that sat there and laid the egg for somebody else to enjoy. So these are the kind of things we level up to. The kind of things I get clear on. Like, finding a compassionate, self-sacrificing way to view things. You know, if we hear things in our daily conversations that are oppressing somebody or speaking ill of somebody, not necessarily our job to go in and push back, and it is an opportunity to level up how we think and feel about it. And for me personally, I will speak to, I can't get into that or whatever subject it is that I'm not up for. Case in point, and I use myself as an example, I am an immigrant from another country, and I did come here, and it was a challenge to sort all of that stuff out, but I did get it sorted out. Do I hold myself in the same context as other people that have come here? Probably yes. But then when I think about the history of this entire country, you only have to go back a little over 200 years to see that so many people came here to look for something better. But is it a better life when there is this feeling that of fear. There you go. So my response is typically, I can't get into that, obviously can't get into that conversation because I wasn't born here. And I am grateful for the opportunities I have. I don't know what that would be like if I hadn't done what I did. I don't know. I certainly wouldn't be here doing this. So I'm grateful for that. I quickly see an opportunity to speak from my own heart, to speak from my own level of love, as opposed to jumping in to a situation. And I'm not saying any of you do that out there, but we have an opportunity, lining with our missions and anchoring in our purpose, to share or first educate ourselves on what is really happening. And then perhaps coming from that place of, can I level up? Can I lift up? Can I rise up? Can I vibrate up enough to understand what's really going on? What's really happening? This morning in my meditation, I know this is running over. This morning in my meditation, I quickly got a download that there are few people who have taken it upon themselves to lead something. Countries, armies, whatever. Some are acting rather combatively, pushing against. So my question to the divine, tell me something that I can share. Give me something that I can send out. And what I got back was, because I think angels and the divine and God has a sense of humor. Going to, what is it saying on here? I am a magnet for good hair days and spontaneous dance parties. And it was a bit like, well, they don't know how to dance to the right rhythm. They don't know how to dance to the right music. The masses of people have not woken up to, what are we getting so upset about? Why are we getting so annoyed? This little group of people over here are just causing a ruckus. They're just wanting to wrinkle the sheets, and they're just wanting to, to do whatever they need to do. You can look at it, I look at it quite comically. Really? I mean, seriously, you're gonna go there, you're gonna do this. However, I think when the majority wake up and realize there is a new way, a different way, a better way, a loving, kind, considerate way of going about things. The small, and I'm talking about less than 0.5% of the entire world population, will get with that program. They'll understand it, and I do think we're going to end up, after a bit of a challenge, we're going to end up where folks will start to see things in a more compassionate way. However, we have to be aligned in our missions and anchored in our purpose. What I know for sure is that light, love, and laughter is like a magnet for other people to want light, love, and laughter. Not at people's expense. However, once we learn to giggle and laugh at ourselves, once we learn to find the light and the love and the laughter in something, you send this wave of energy out there that will gather more. That will gather more. And that's all I've got to say. That's it for the Divine Daily Blast. Stay tuned, because I'll be right up with what's going to be happening this week with the moon, the stars, the planets, and I'll run 6 cards, 7 cards from the Messages Tarot deck. All right, bye for now.